Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. This is Tanya, Sidegigcrafts. I'm so glad you have joined me today. Welcome. We're crafting today. Hey guys, how many journals can we start? Are we allowed to start as many as we want? Is there a rule? I'm not sure. Not sure, but I'm starting another one because I had an inspiration. And I realized Easter is coming, and I want to use some of these Easter things. I want to play with Easter. I've got some great ephemera and die cuts and things, and I need to create. So I am starting a new journal this morning. This is going to be an Easter one, and I'm using this old quilt I have been sitting in my scraps for a minute. I got this at a thrift store in California years ago, and I've been wanting to use it and have not had the right project. I think this is the right project. Look at the back of this fabric. Isn't this adorable? You can hardly see it because it's been washed and loved so much, but it's like a winter scene, and it looks like maybe two friends or maybe a father and his son are out sledding and doing outside activities. There's a saw in there, so they must be making things. Maybe even Santa and an elf. I don't know. But the color's so washed out. It's gorgeous. And yes, I have scanned these pieces and will be saving them to make digitals. I know I keep talking about it. It's just I haven't figured it out how to do it yet, just quite yet. So it is in process, guys. I've got a few more videos to watch to figure this all out, so I can get and share some of these things with you. So I did scan them though. Now I got and I have the whole rest of the baby quilt left. Every other square is hand stitched, and it's just, they're beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to working with those. So this is going to be my journal. And I want to do, it's going to be very flat if I leave it like that. And I'm not happy with that. I want it to be a bit fluffy and soft. Almost a quilted feel. So what we're going to do, instead of gluing this directly to the paper, we're going to put a layer of quilt batting in there. Yep. So I got this quilt batting. This is these, I can't put it up there, guys, it's too big. Soft light loft batting. I'm going to pull this out. I should have cut this beforehand, but I turned on the camera and forgotten that I hadn't done it. So here we are. So we're just going to take a piece of this. I'm actually going to just cut a chunk off right now so that it's easier to work with, because it comes in this big roll. And that should be plenty. Sorry, I know I'm working off screen, but I'm not too far away from you. Here we go. In fact, I'm even in my chair, so didn't even get up. Okay, there we go. We're going to throw this across the room. We'll deal with that later. Trust me, we will. Otherwise, it's going to be full of cat hair, because the cats will love it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this even shorter. I only want one layer. It doesn't have to be too fluffy. So one layer will be fine. Let's cut it kind of straightish across-ish. We're going to do some more cutting still because we got to get to the right size. Now what I want to do is bring this, well, yeah, I'm going to be able to wrap that fabric around barely. So I don't want it too thick is the thing. So even if I have to stretch it a little bit to make this fit, I'm good with that, because then I know it won't be too thick. So I'm going to cut just a little. Here, this would be easier if I went this way, wouldn't it? This stuff is a little bit hard to work with sometimes, a little squirmy, unless you pin it and all that stuff, and it's kind of hard to pin to cardboard. I could glue it, I guess, and cut the edges, but again, here we are. That would probably be the easiest way to do it. So just cut the edges. I hope you guys are all doing great. What are you up to this week? Weekend. Oh my gosh, it's Friday. It's a finish at Friday, and here I go starting another project. Wow. But I do have a project later to share with you that is finished. So my design team project, you guys, I cannot wait to post that this afternoon. So you will be seeing that video as well. I hope you'll be able to catch that one. And you will love, love, love it. I know I do. I'm very excited to share it. I just have final details I need to post. Oh my gosh. You're not going to believe what I did. I left my glue in my room. I'll be right back. All right, I found my tools. I was working on my project last night in my room and left everything. And look, I left the pin in. Yay, I didn't lose the container. I've still got them. I need to find a safe place for these. Probably I could tuck them up into that band. Okay, I'll do that later. Yeah, because that's not what you're here for. So let's go ahead and get this glued on. Oh, that works like a charm. Isn't that amazing how that works when the pin is in there and it doesn't dry out and make a mess and all that good stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh, my lands. All right, I'll do a little section at a time. This glue does start drying quickly, so you want to work with it quickly. I want to make sure it's glued really well on the creases as well. It will be sewed down, so it's not, oh shoot. So it'll be fine, but I want to make sure it's pretty secure. Don't need to saturate it or anything. Just make sure that that back side is attached. It doesn't slip too far. There we go. I have just been wanting to do Easter. Well, no, I haven't. I have not. I can't lie. It's not like I've been really looking forward to it. I got the urge this morning. I'm like, what am I doing? I've got Easter to do. Easter's coming up. It's one of my favorite holidays. I think Easter and Thanksgiving are my favorite. I know that sounds a little bit unusual, but it is. I love the freshness and the thanks that we give, the gratitude. I love all that. That's what I love. My kids were all born in the spring, so birthdays are usually, you know, oh my gosh, my kids' birthdays are coming up. Now that I say that. Oh no. And I need to start thinking about that. I hadn't thought about that yet. I'm not that far. So my kids' birthdays are all in the spring, and Easter, of course, is in the spring. I love the flowers. I love the freshness of it. Love the rain. It's just all wonderful to me. And so that's the fun. And then in the fall, I love the outside is what gets me. The weather, the leaves. That feels like a new life too coming on. You know, without the fall, we wouldn't have the spring, because the olds replace, or the new replaces the old, and I don't know. It's just all the colors and all the amazingness. I'm not expressing myself very well, but maybe some of you will understand. Here we go. All right, I think I trimmed that back enough. I need to be able to wrap this and glue this around this side. And I don't have Fabri-Tac, so and my glue actually works pretty well. I need to be able to tack it down well enough to get it to the sewing machine. So we're going to go ahead and do at least this edge. You know, here's the thing. So my thought is about possibly putting another piece of fabric underneath this so that this edge could be raw. But I don't think I'm going to like that. I really don't. I think we're going to keep going with the original idea. We'll just start on the ends where it's easy to wrap. And of course the sewing will hold it shut, will hold it in place, so that'll be good. I have some clips. Where are my clips? Where do I keep them now? think they're actually on something because, oh no, they're right there. Well, I have a few of them right there. I wonder what I've got clipped. Because I've got more clips than that. More unfinished projects somewhere, perhaps. Okay. Now, with all these projects going on, I figured out finally a way to organize them that I can keep them separate and be able to locate them easily. I'm going to work on that project today. I'm very excited about that. It's a very simple system. All I need is a wall, a clean floor, and some sticky notes. But it's going to work for me. I have a wall here in my craft room that's bare because we took a dresser out, and so that wall is empty. But that seems to be where I put things that I want to hold aside for other projects. I thought, well, why not just set up a workstation there, and it can be on the floor so that things don't fall or what have you. I don't need another piece of furniture there to take up space. So I'm going to just put stacks, and then I'm going to put notes on the walls above them until I figure out something better, a better idea. Maybe a shelf system or something over there would be good. I don't know, but I don't want to go spend the money on something like that if I don't need it. And those things will be should be rotating quickly through if I'm doing it right. So I shouldn't need a bunch of space. I do want to cut this little section off. I should probably sew it first, but there's going to be a knot there where it's got the embroidery floss. So let's cut that. It'll be easier to sew. And I should have cut this seam off right there too. I don't think these scissors will work. Maybe. Maybe this one too. Alright, we'll miter those edges so we can fold this over better. Actually, let's miter them. Let's do it a little bit more. That's better. That's better. So some of you have asked about my dragon Art, who hasn't been feeling very well. She is on medication now. She's on 2 kinds of antibiotics and a painkiller, and she seems to be perking up this morning. She was seeming a little better yesterday. She was interested in food, but she still hasn't eaten anything. So I'm a little concerned about that. But I think today may be a good turnaround. She's been watching us around the room, the animals, and she's a little more curious. So that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. And that's a little bit more like her normal self. So I'm hoping that we are turning it around. I know not everybody loves reptiles, but and that's okay. But they can be a little tricky unless you really watch their personalities and stuff. And they do have very different personalities, just like our dogs and cats do. They do too. And when you recognize something's wrong, you got to do something quick, because these things happen very quickly in reptiles, and they're masters at hiding it. You know, our dogs whimper and whine, and our cats cry at us and complain, and you know, you can see it. They're loud and they're in our face, right? But reptiles are tucked away in their enclosure, and they'll hide. They don't want you to know something's wrong, because out in the wild, that would make them very vulnerable to predators. So they hide those things, and so you have to really, really watch. So I'm excited that she's showing signs of her normal again. That's a positive, and I'm super, super encouraged by that. Now I may need to, actually I should probably use tape right here, except that I'd have to sew through it, and that's not a good thing for my sewing machine. So I'm going to see if I can get the glue to work. I may have to do some tucking and pulling when I'm sewing to hold that down. And we will be putting another piece of probably colorful Easter paper on the inside of this and that will help hold some of this down as well. I could potentially put some bias tape around the edges. That would be kind of cute, wouldn't it? I do want a grungy look. I don't want it to look too finished, but that might be cute. See how it gave it just a little puff? I like it. You can see a little bit of the color coming through from the fabric behind it, and that's okay. That's okay. It adds to the grunge. Not too grungy. Just a little, just enough, huh? Maybe I should go along with the shabby feel on this one. Might be a better way to go. Should we call it shabby instead of grungy? See, but with shabby chic, it's usually really clean, and yeah, I'm not going there. Not that I can't, but that's not my idea. I think I'll even change my thread out on my machine to a pink or something if I have it. I'll see what I have. Something a little more springtime, and then black or brown or whatever's in there. I don't usually change my thread up too much just because I don't need to, but I think I will for this one. Why not? Let's have some fun with it. There we go. This is holding down just fine. Just fine. Again, I'll have to stretch it a little bit as I sew, and that's to be expected because it's got that batting in there, so it's giving it a little puff. But if we work carefully and slowly, we can get all these edges folded. I'm going to even pull it now and try to tighten it up just a bit. Let's see, that's happening. Oh my goodness, Gretchen, you're snoring. Can you guys hear my dog? Sometimes I'll watch people's videos. I'm like, what is that sound? And then they'll come back and they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, my dog is snoring. If you guys can hear it, that's what that is. I'm like, oh, okay. That makes more sense. I always look around at my animals. Are you guys okay? What's that noise? There we go. Yeah, I had to give Art an injection yesterday. That was interesting. The vet had asked me, do you have help to do this? I'm like, no. But I'm gonna have to figure it out, aren't I? Just tell me how to give it. They're like, whoa, you don't have help though? I don't need you to tell me how to hold her down. I just need you to tell me how to give her the shot, where to give it the shot. You know, does it go in the skin? Does it go in the muscle? In her back, in her legs, in her, you know, in her stomach? Where does it go? Where do I poke her? So they had to explain it to me, and I was like, okay, I'll get it done. And I did. I was nervous about it, really nervous about it. That's not my thing. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a veterinarian. I am not that person. You know, I'm still learning about reptiles. I'm still learning about Art. I've only had her for 5 months, so we're still in the, you know, getting to know you phase. And so I wasn't sure how she was going to respond. I do know that she's got a great personality and she's very tolerant. But she's not super excited about being held or anything like that. So I was a little bit nervous about it. I've never seen her bite me. Or I mean, she's never tried to bite me or anything like that. At least not on purpose. When she thought I had her food, she, you know, I felt teeth near my fingernail. But she wasn't trying to bite me. She was trying to get the food, and my fingernail just got in the way. But, you know, never an aggressive moment. But you never know when they're getting poked how they're going to respond. So I was able to do it. Took some precautions and we got it done. So I have to do it every 3 days until her shots are gone. So we'll just keep at it. And it worked out. So hopefully she'll continue to let me do that and not figure it out and, you know, get too squirmy. If she does, I'll take her over to the Chloe's house and we'll manhandle her, or take her to work and get it done. Have somebody help me hold her. But yeah. So let's see, what else can I tell you? What else can I tell you? Got a quick turnaround for my design team project. This one, not this, but I have another Easter journal I'm going to be making for that. It's going to be totally different than this one. So I'm actually going to be making two, which is fun for me because I can use a lot of the same items for them. So I don't have to do double the work. And I mean, they'll both be very different, but you can use a lot of the same items, and that's pretty cool. All right, I think I'm going to leave this one sitting for a minute. And I'm going to look for, I don't think I have to look. I think I'm going to use this paper right here. Leave this. I'm going to have to probably put some glue on parts of this, but that's the part that's giving me trouble right there. See if I can get those down. I wish I could find my other clips. I'm thinking about using this paper on the inside. Do you guys like that? It's got the pink and the green. Either that one or this one. But this one might be too plain for the inside. As much as I love it, it might be too plain. I've got some other papers pulled here, but it's between those two, and it's a toss-up for sure. Or I could do something like this one. Oh, well, no, that green's too far off. I don't like that at all. That might be a consideration. Maybe I should use this one. I think I will. We're going to use this one, and then you can see it's not wide enough, which is fine. What I'll do is cut it in half, and then probably use this. Or I could use this plaid. No, I don't even like that in there. I think we'll use a strip of this to go down the middle of it. I think that would be nice. All right, did I get these down? I did. Did I get this down? No. Did I try? I'm not sure. So that's my thought on that. We'll use the pink and pink bunnies. I love that paper. I have had that paper in my stash for a couple of years. I believe they still sell it. This is from Paper Studio, so that's Hobby Lobby. It's called Bunny Floral. And both of these bunny ones are from there. And I had intended to use them then, but I've hoarded them. So I'm finally going to use them. You know what would have been smart is to probably slit those corners right there, so they're not too bunchy, but no. The sewing machine is going to hold these down. I'm not sure why I'm fussing so much. But okay, you guys, I am going to, so this is going to be the cover of our journal. We're halfway there. Take those off. I'm going to sew around so it'll quilt it. I'm going to sew around here as well. Maybe, I wonder if I should put a piece of fabric there. That would be really cute too, huh? Maybe, oh, well, but then I couldn't sew it. Oh, I like how this little yarn is up here. That's cute. I think what I'll do, so if I decide to put, because I'm really tempted to do it, I think I'm going to sew around the outside here and then put probably a placard or another piece of fabric with something here. But if I do that, I'll sew around that piece of fabric so it'll look like I sewed it on there. I think that's probably the best way to go there. Okay, so I'm not going to sew this just yet because it would be better to sew it with the paper in there, without the paper in there. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to sew it before I put, I'm going to sew it before I put the paper in, because if my back stitches are ugly, that'll cover it. It'll be easier. So I'll be right back. Okay, my love, so I actually went through, I opted not to go ahead and do here because it's a little bit crooked and I couldn't see without marking the fabric. I wouldn't be able to see exactly where to sew, but I think if I did, it would point out that it was crooked. So I think I'm going to opt not to do that. I will probably still put a piece of fabric here with something on it later on. So I'm going to keep that option open, but I love how that turned out. I'm really happy with it. I kind of like that. It looks like a little tail back here. I keep wanting to pick it off though. But it shows that it was a quilt, doesn't it? So I love the puffiness of it. It's just enough. I am going to go ahead and cut some of this bulk off that didn't get glued, just because it'll make it easier to fasten down the paper. So that's my next step, is just trimming some of that out. And this one's glued down pretty well, so I don't need to do anything on that side. Next, I'm going to go ahead and cut the bunny paper. Now this is going to be 6 by 7, I think I did. 6 by 7. I'm going to go ahead and cut the paper just, well, I'm going to cut the paper 5.5 by 7. So it's 7 tall. Yes, right? Yes, 7 tall. I only have one piece of paper of this, so I can't mess this up. 7 tall. And we're going to do 5.5. And the reason I'm doing 5.5 is so that it doesn't get too bulky on that spine or in the fold, because I'm only going to want to put one piece of paper in that fold. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. All right. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay, so this is going to go here, and this is going to go here. I want it to cover those stitches just because I think it's a cleaner look. And here. So I'm not going all the way to the middle because my strip of paper, let's look and see how many inches of wide across that is. 6 to 9, maybe about 3 inches. So I'm going to do it by, if I go 5 to 9, we're going to do it 4 inches. So I want 4 inches of this one. By 7. So this one is going to go here. Now what I want to do is score that. Excuse me. We're going to score that piece to make it a little easier to fold. And let me just double check. Let me just make sure fold is actually like one. It's going to be off a little if I do it that way. Let's think this through a second. Let's think this through. Well, actually, let me glue these pieces down because that's the next step, and this piece is going to go over it. So I'm going to use tape. Actually, going to use tape, my friends. All right. We'll use glue around the edges though. But for the most part, this should help it stick, and I shouldn't have let it touch the paper, but I did. If you're going to tear it like I just did, don't let it touch the paper first, because then it pulls up the paper, makes that thinner, and then does that. Oh, the challenges of a paper crafter. Hey, did I mention yet? You guys, I don't think I mentioned it yet. I did start a coffee shop. I think it's Ko-fi shop, where you can buy me a coffee, or you can purchase items. I have one journal up in there already. I'm going to be putting the design team project will go up there this afternoon after I post that project to y'all so that you can see it. And I'll be putting digitals in there, and so it's there. Hopefully the first ones will be free because I'm still learning. Like I said, I don't have any up yet, but that is something that I am planning to do eventually. Because I would like to give back. You guys have been so supportive and wonderful of this journey for me, and I cannot thank you more. Thank you is not enough. So the only thing I can think to do is give back in that way. So thank you. So please check that out. The link is going to be in my video. Well, I'll put it in this video for one, but it's also in my About section, so that if you can't find it, check there. It's already there even before I post this video. I did that a little bit crooked, so I'm going to have to trim that off. So if you're interested in checking that out, please do. No obligations. No obligations, no. Nothing like that. I'm not going to be begging you to go check anything or, you know, nothing like that, you guys. I'm not turning into a commercial or anything. I promise you that. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. But I did want to let you know about it. So if you're interested in helping out in some way, you are welcome to do that. I probably won't be talking about it much except to tell you when things are there. So that's where I'm going to start probably posting my crafty stuff. I'm kind of working away from Etsy. I'm not really feeling Etsy lately. And that's not a bash. It's not, you know, nothing major. It's just, I feel like it's, I don't know. I feel like it's a different opportunity maybe. Try something new. And I feel like a lot of the stuff on Etsy isn't handmade anymore. And that's not what I signed up for. So, but who knows? Maybe I'll keep it open. Maybe I'll just turn my shop into a digital shop too. Maybe I'll have things in both places. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Because I do already have some followers there, so I don't know. Stay tuned. You'll find out when I do. Currently, I don't have a lot in my Etsy shop. I have the one journal that I recently posted. That one is still available. It's a big one. It's a chunky one. It's gorgeous. I'm surprised it's still sitting there because there was a lot of interest in it, and it's still there. And that's about the gist of it. I took my tumblers out because right now that's not, I don't want to focus on tumblers. I don't want to do tumblers right now. And I say right now because I reserve the right to change my mind at any time. And I probably will. I'll probably go back to it. It's fun, but I just, yeah. It's just time to do something different. That's not where my heart is right now. I'm going to go ahead, instead of trying to measure this out, I'm just going to mark this with a pencil, I think. That's probably going to be the easiest. Right here and right here is where I need to score. Whatever those measurements are, that's where I need to score. And of course it falls right in between, so we're going to scooch it over and use, I don't like the scoring tool for this, it's too thick. But it's going to have to work because it's the only one I see right here. If I was smart, I'd keep the scoring tool right here in my little thingy bobber, but it pops out. When I throw it in the drawer, it just pops out. So I keep it usually on top of my desk so that I can find it when I need it. Unfortunately, yeah, anyway, you guys know me. You know. You know. Okay, so this is going to go here, just like that. And I think I'm going to use tape on this too, but we're going to use... Can I get two of those? Maybe. Yeah, I think I can do side by side. Should I? Yeah, we're going to do it. Let's just do it. What else can I tell you guys about? That's kind of the up and coming. Super excited about some collabs that I'm also participating in. You'll see on the 11th is my day to post my collab project for creating with Jovi. There's going to be 26 creators throughout the month of March. And we are all doing a fairy themed project to celebrate Jovi's new digital kit. Celtic, it's not Celtic, it's Celtic. Celtic Enchanted Forest or Fairies or something like that. I should get better about remembering these things, but I wasn't expecting to talk about it today. I'll do it with my project for sure. But I'll have the link then as well in my video. But check around because Creating with Jovi is doing this collaboration every day in the month of March, which we are now in. Happy March, everybody. And so the first project is up today. Jovi posted hers late last night. I saw it. So you can check out her channel and see what she's got going on. I will link her information in the description box so you guys can go check that out, and she'll explain it further, as well as all of the creators that are involved. Huge bunch of creators, you guys. It's so cool to see so many people coming together to support one another in this project. It's so fun. And so I have a project coming up on that too. On the 11th, I'll be posting that. I did not use paper in my project, you guys. Just so you know, I did not use paper in my project. It's not required to use the kit, and I didn't. I will talk about it though and get you all the information. It's a beautiful kit. You'll love it. And if you don't, make sure to check out Jovi's Etsy shop anyway. She's got lots of kits available, and there's bound to be something you'll love. So check that out. That was a little crooked. That's not making me happy. But I cannot. When you put that tape on there, it's on. It's on. There's no going backwards here. Which is one of the reasons I love my glue, but here we are. It's going to be my new saying this year, but here we are. Here we are. I say it all the time. I love that. And those two papers go together so well. It almost feels seamless. Got those cute little bunnies in there. Let's make sure those folds fold right. Alright, just kind of push them in. Use my bone folder in just a second to make sure that's really good and burnished. All of it. The whole thing. All around the edges. We've got ourselves a journal cover, y'all, for a new project for the month of March. Yep, yep, yep. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to take me all of March to work on it, because that's not the case. It's probably going to be done sooner than that. Because I'm excited to work on it. Okay, so let's go ahead. We are going to put some distressing. We are. Maybe this one's a little dark, especially because I already have some on here. Let's use Vintage Photo. It's going to come out a little darker than Vintage Photo because I already have ink on here. My torn up pad there. But we're going to just hit it lightly around the edge. Oh, I missed some. I'll have to go back and glue that. Want to make sure all those edges are tucked in so it lasts longer. Not looking to make anything that's going to fall apart on you. I don't mind if that sticks out. That's fine. That's kind of, you know, a little bit of personality, but I don't want the edges up on the top to be poking out like that. Alright, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go a little bit here on this edge too. Oops, that's not the edge I wanted, but that's okay. That's really cute. Okay, let's see if I can glue that down a little bit better. There we are. That's cute. Okay, so this is the beginning, you guys. This is the beginning of this journal. We're going to help fold those corners a little better. Train them. And then the next step is going to be to fill it up. But that, my friends, is going to be for another day. For today, this is it. So I hope you enjoyed that process. I hope you'll try making one this spring and make ourselves some cute little spring or Easter journals, whichever you prefer. This one may be leaning a little more towards spring, but I have a touch of Easter in there just to spread it out throughout the months. So hope you have a great day, you guys. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.